Welcome to weaponseducation.com. I think you're going to like the subject of this video, and that is, what would you choose for a firearm, a blade, a vest, maybe pepper spray, in the situation where there is a lawless society? I'm talking about the government goes bankrupt, shuts down. States, as we know, can go bankrupt, and they're trying to pass legislation right now where states can file bankruptcy. This is all in good fun. I'm not, I'm an optimist guy, but you're going to look at a lot of firearms and a lot of cool stuff right now in a short time frame, and the question is, if there's gangs coming through your streets, like I'm here in South Florida, if Miami all of a sudden has a problem and all the banks are shut down, all the law enforcement is out of commission, there's no military because they're all overseas, there's no reserves or anything like that, or it's such a small amount that it doesn't go up against the tens of thousands of people rioting in your city, what would you choose of everything I'm about to show you? So I pick and chose my favorites, and I'm asking for you to throw in your comments, all in good fun, the top 3 firearms, the top 2 blades, and the #1 type of maybe pepper spray. And also a vest. You know, this is made by Blue Stone. This is a very cool vest. And whatever type of gear you might put on your body. Just something for us to talk about. Remember, a total lawless society. The idea from this video came from a buddy of mine today at lunch, and he was serious. He goes, "Tom, I've been watching your channel for a while." He goes, I am not a gun owner, and this is what I want to do. I want to buy 3 different products where if everything goes crazy and the gangs are coming through my neighborhood and they got machetes and they're busting into homes for my food, to bust and get my valuables, or to take over my shelter and move in my home and kick me out and kill me, what do? I want to know what happens in that situation. That's why I want to buy the top 3 firearms, the top 2 knives, and things, everything I mentioned. And that's where the idea came from, for real, today at lunch. So I'm going to buzz you through a bunch of firearms, and then at the end I'll give you my top choices. All right, throw in your comments. This is a cool one. First up, we have a Springfield M1A with the Troy modular system on it, Magpul stock, Bushnell scope. And he told me, he goes, "Tom, I want something that will also help me if I'm on a rooftop and I have to shoot long distances." So that's why I chose this as one of the options. This which will shoot a Winchester White Box 308. Unbelievable firearm. This might be your choice. I'm going to show you each one and tell me what your final choices are. And if it's not within something that I'm showing you, throw your comments in so we can all learn. Let's go to the next firearm. Maybe it's a Sega 12 gauge. Semi-automatic, as fast as you can pull the trigger. You got a Sig Sauer light and laser up front. You've got 12 shotgun shells in that magazine, and you've got a couple of dozen magazines ready to roll, fully loaded. Maybe this is your choice. It's got a Tapco stock. Whew. You can put some double-aught buck in that baby. Come around me, gangs, in my place. I don't know. This is an intimidator. So this might be your choice too. Just also the intimidation factor of the sound of a shotgun blast. All right, we're just going to throw some more stuff at you. How about a Sig Sauer SWAT 5.56 pistol? 5.56. Whew. Boy, that's what the military uses. 60 rounds in that magazine from Surefire. They have one coming out with 100 rounds. You get 10 of those puppies loaded up in the background. And for close quarters, combat, intimidation, long-range shooting, what do you think? What do you think about this pistol? Look, I think probably the coolest pistol on the planet. I mean, this thing's awesome. This has got to be way up there on the list. Way up there. Let's look at the next one. Maybe it's a good old Remington 870. Maybe that sound is what you want. Intimidation. Shotgun, 12 gauge. This happens to be the turkey gun, the model turkey gun. Awesome. It's got a pistol grip and a stock. All right, what do you think of that? Maybe you want that sound. That sound is probably the most intimidating sound in firearms. What would you choose? How about an AK-47? Huh? What's SGL would you want? Arsenal? That's what this is, an arsenal. We're looking at an AK. Maybe you want to have 10, 12 spare magazines loaded up, ready to go with your AK. That's a pretty good intimidation factor right there, and that'll get the job done. You got the same old Sig Sauer light and laser as I keep on most of my rifles. Very, very cool. This has got to be on top of the list there. What do you think? We took a look at the Sig Sauer 5.56 SWAT pistol prior to this. But what about the Sig Sauer 5.56 rifle? Oh, this might be what you want also. Which 5.56 do you like, the pistol or the rifle? This thing is really sweet. It's got the Sig Sauer laser, light, strobe, 600 lumens approximately. Really awesome. Here we have the Sig Sauer 5.56 military grade with the stock. Let's go on to the next one. That's pretty nice. What if you need a sidearm? What about a Magnum Research Desert Eagle 50 AE with 10 spare magazines? Think of the intimidation factor if you blasted one of those off. Oh boy, that's got to be way up there on the list also. Throw your comments in. That's going to be hard to pass up as the top 3. Let's move on. That's beautiful. I got to keep looking at it. Go ahead. That gun weighs like 4 or 5 pounds or something ridiculous. It's awesome. That's one of my favorites. Let's go to the next one. What about a Glock 10 millimeter? Huge knockdown power. You can take out an elephant if you wanted with this firearm. With that system there on your shoulder, 2 magazines at your chest, 1 fully loaded. That's a Glock 20C in the middle, a Glock 29 on the left with a 20 magazine in it. You're looking at approximately 45 rounds on your body instantaneously of one of the most powerful semi-automatics in the world, shooting hollow points that will just devastate anything it hits. Maybe it's a Glock. You got to throw a Glock in there, and you have to throw the most powerful Glock made on the planet. Is this one of your choices? What is your top 3? Let's go to the next one. Maybe it's a pistol grip shotgun. Mossberg, 12 gauge. Mossberg 500 right there. Maybe you want that because it's easy to get through hallways in your home. So there's another option, a pistol grip shotgun. Watch out for that recoil because you want to shoot double-aught bucks in a lawless society or slugs. So that's another option. What do you think? Let's talk about blades. For a folding blade, I'll tell you right now, this is my first choice, an extra large Espada sword. You might differ. Maybe you have a different folding blade you would prefer. But I would want this by my side. And for a second blade, I can't pull everything out. I would probably guess that you would say some huge type of sword, a full size like Japanese sword. So as far as your 2 favorite blades that you would want in a lawless society, what would they be? 1 folding, 1 fixed. Okay, and I have one more thing to show you, and then we'll discuss the answers. What about pepper spray? Maybe that's something you would want in your arsenal. And this is Fox 5.3 product pepper spray, law enforcement quality. I'm sure there's other pepper sprays you may like. I have a dozen different bottles, like Cold Steel makes some really good ones. What's your input on this type of product? Tear gas also is in there. I have a bunch of it on order. We'll go over that in a future video. Pepper spray, tear gas, what type of things would you think would you need in addition to blades and firearms? So you have 3 firearms to choose, 2 types of blades, 1 fixed, 1 folding, and then a couple of these types of products here, pepper spray or tear gas, things like that. I'm going to sit down now and tell you what I choose, and that's just me, but I want everyone to learn from this, so throw in your comments. Let me sit down now. Alright, so what did I choose out of my arsenal? All in good fun here. In a lawless society, what would you want? Springfield M1A. I know a lot of you agree with me on this one. Shoot your .308 cartridge out of this, you're good to go. Load up with a bunch of Winchester white box. Have dozens and dozens and dozens of loaded magazines. If you need to get on that rooftop for real, I mean, kind of for real. I mean, what if you have to be a sniper? You need a long-range firearm, okay? So, of my arsenal, this is what I choose. I'm sure you guys all have a different choice, or maybe even agree with my choice, but throw in your comments. Let's all learn. What would you do in a lawless society? What are your top 3 choices? Let's look at the next one that I chose to be like the second thing I would have. That's all I can carry in my home, okay? Let's go to the next one. Next in line, I had to choose the pistol 6 Sauer 5.56 SWAT. And after all, supposedly, this is what took out bin Laden. We know what a 5.56 round can do. We know the cartridges you can buy today and how powerful they are. So if you're in a hallway, if you're in a tight situation, you're in an office building and who knows what's going on, you can maneuver around, have your 5.56 round. It's a pistol. You can even carry this in your car if you had to as a concealed pistol. It's a pistol. So I had to go with this as one of my final choices. But let me know what you think. This is like shooting a .22, this thing. It's a 5.56. I keep those PMC rounds by the tens of thousands. I got like 20,000 of them. I'm all over that. I buy them by the thousand. You gotta have a lot of ammo with your firearms in a lawless society, by the way. It's like a car without gas. But anyway, 6 Sauer 5.56 SWAT. Let's go to my final choice of firearms. Well, it's pretty difficult choice here, as we know. I wanted the Desert Eagle in here, the 50 AE. I wanted the Glock 10mm. But you got to have a shotgun in the mix, right? So, of all the shotguns on the planet, I think one of the best choices is the Sega semi-automatic. You load this up with double-aught buck or slugs. You get a bunch of magazines ready to go, and as fast as you can pull the trigger and you're shooting off double-aught bucks, pretty intimidating, and that'll get the job done. You probably won't miss. I had to throw a shotgun in there. Yeah, I would like to have my Glock and all those other things we spoke about, but those are the 3 I would choose if that's all I could carry for personal protection in a lawless society. Now I'm going to talk about vest. Well, I got you on camera here. What would you choose? This happens to be, what do they call the name of it? Bluestone. I'll correct it if I'm wrong. But this is super high quality. But what vest would you choose for a concealed carry? There's dozens and dozens of them. You know, the 5.11s, the Black Hawks, they're all good. All right, so enjoy. Let me know what your input is. What firearms, what blades, and what types of pepper spray and tear gas would you carry if you only had a small amount to choose from in your home to protect your life, your family, in a lawless society? Riots are breaking out in the street. Can it happen? I think so. All right. See you tomorrow. Bye.